Our Highline Voices, 106.5 KQWZ LPFM.
Connecting Highline and our region.
History, cultural heritage, art, performances, contemporary pop culture.
We collect, preserve, and tell the stories of the Highline region and its people.
We want to embrace our differences and similarities.
We want to extend our mission outside the walls of the museum. Our Highline Voices, 106.5 KQWZ LPFM.
Hi, everyone. This is Nancy from the Highline Heritage Museum, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always, we have a wonderful person. I cannot wait for her to tell her story and for you to connect with her and kind of get a glimpse of who she is as a person, which I love. I hope that you guys, every single week, you enjoy learning more about who is in our community. Why are we doing this project? For the same reason, just sharing who we are and connecting with each other, but also an opportunity that people doesn't have to connect directly with the museum. You don't have to come inside the museum to know who we are in the community. So this is an opportunity an invitation for anyone who is unable to join us in the museum to be still know that we can share stories outside of the walls. And so we're excited for this project, and then just continuing. So if you have more ideas, so who do you want to hear, the personal stories? If you know somebody, just let us know and we can do the interview. Okay, but before we start, I want to say thank you, Shelli. Thank you for this awesome opportunity to share who you are, and just to give us a little glimpse of your magic and what you do. And so, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, and so we're just going to start with the whole question. If you've been following before the show, you know that it's a really simple format. And so the whole idea is to get to know each other. And so for now, it's like, Shelli, who are you? Tell us a little bit about what makes you you.
Well, first, thank you for the invitation and for having me. My name is Shelli Park. I have lived in the city of Burien since 2002. I did a little stint in Burien before that, but that's when I moved here for real. I am an artist first, and a mother. And then out of that, I have always loved community and bringing people together from the very beginning. I think some of that comes from growing up. My parents took me to church. And although I don't follow or am a part of the Christian community, a Protestant Christian was many different denominations, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. I think that I believe community is really important for the cohesiveness and communication and peace in a town. I mean, in a community. A feeling of community within the community, I think, is really important. And I have always used the arts as the connecting point in that. And so I have been mostly interested in helping find opportunities for other artists, because I haven't always felt that there have been opportunities for me. And so it has never been from a place of creating opportunities for me, because I forget that I'm an artist when I'm working, but and so I'm not a very good salesman for myself.
Your actions speaks louder than words. And throughout the years, I've seen you through committees or through projects, or all kinds of things. And so the people that knows you or are close to you, they know just through your actions who you are. But I'm going to make a quick comment on that. And something that I never, ever, ever connected until just now is that, sometimes we do what we do because we have experienced the lack of opportunities. In this case, you as an artist. A lot of the times the work that I do it is because I know what it is to be a minority person.
Right.
And it comes from the place of knowing the barriers, knowing the issues, and that you don't want to prolong that situation for others that comes after you.
Right.
And so you were saying it's not about you finding opportunities for yourself, but as you acknowledging that there is lack of opportunities and that why not create, instead of focusing on limitations, why not create in the opportunities. And so,
Right.
see, that's
Yeah.
inspiring.
Yeah. 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 It is. It's, yeah. One of the things that I feel was, so my children being in school and losing the arts
Mhm.
in school. And I can't remember the exact year, but in about 2008, 2009, I was a part of a group of people in White Center who started White Center for the Arts. And we were in the skate rink, which was empty, in the studios on the 16th Avenue side. And we started, um, we were wanting to do all sorts of things. There's the arts and economic development part, but there was also the community part. And um, we started bringing artists into schools by creating a relationship with the Highline school district schools that were in White Center. So Evergreen and Cascade.
Mhm.
And we didn't have enough infrastructure. And we were also merged with another arts organization. It was sort of, people sort of fell away from the mission, but another artist that you and I both know, Amaranta, is it Ibarra? Yeah, Amaranta. I'm sorry, what she's with her.
Amaranta Sandy.
Sandy. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Um, uh, she was one of our first teaching artists in that program,
Nice.
and it gave her the opportunity to do everything she's doing now. And so for me, that's so satisfying. And even though that particular program didn't continue, um, it helped one person be able to survive as an artist and a teaching artist. Just that, um, and so those are the sort of things that I really get very excited about. So with the Burien Film Festival, actually this coming Thursday, the Burien Film Office Happy Hour is hosting a filmmaker who was one of his very first films, or is he and his brother? They're through the Swan Chote brothers. Um, or the Thai guys is what their production company is called. They submitted a film to the Burien Film Festival, and I think they maybe have won an award of some sort. And although I don't know if that helped them at all, they have since, become bigger in the local film community, and will be presenting some of their work that they filmed here in Burien on Thursday.
Oh my gosh.
At the Tin Room.
That's so cool.
So all these full circle things, I can see some of the fruits of all of my, passions and work, and it is really very satisfying. Yeah.
Well, let me say something, which I never done. I don't know why you inspire me to do new things. So maybe that's my working mind, but I never done this cross multi-language thing in one setting like this. So I'm gonna say this in Spanish for Amaranta.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Amaranta, te queremos mucho, 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 mucho. Mwah. That's what I just say, Amaranta, we love you. And just saying hi to her, and she's a wonderful artist.
She is.
And then so I think that even us mentioning the artists and filmmakers and her is once again promoting the arts, promoting others, lifting others, co-sharing the space with others. And I think that that's to me the beauty of community. So see?
Absolutely.
And so that's the work of that of seeing and lifting and hugging in many different formats,
Right.
all the way from providing the space or just supporting or even following on social media. So there's just a form of a hug, like, okay, you're not alone. We are
Yes.
standing together and then we're going to just push forward.
Yes.
That's what I like about you. It's like I said, throughout the years now, I don't know how many years,
It's been so many.
that it's just been one way or another you express that and those values in many different capacities. Or Highline or Burien, this beautiful place is very interesting. And I know that every community has their own unique identities, but for us, it's like many communities all in one place. And then the changes, the transformation that's taking place. Arts, everyone has a different interpretation. And it might be one of those weird questions, but like, what is art to you? When you say art, what does that mean to you?
Oh, man.
An expression of you?
It was, so for me, I'm a dancer. I also am a musician and a fine artist.
I know that part.
So I mostly vocal, and I've been working on that actually. A writer, and plus, then I have utilized all of that and my weird brain into design and architecture. And so to me, the arts are, as you said, an expression of all of the things inside that I don't have a definition for, that need to be expressed in different ways. And I think it starts as a feeling or an image or just something deep inside. Sometimes I will have visions of a painting, and it's maybe the real piece is 75% of the major amazing thing that in my brain. I'm still working on that. But art is, I mean, there's not one definition. It's so broad. It's a cultural expression, personal expression, societal reflection. And to me, it's magic and it's necessary. And everyone's interpretation of any one particular piece is a correct interpretation because that's how they see it. People ask me, what from one of my paintings, what does this mean? I'm like, you tell me.
Yeah.
What do you see here? I don't want to give a description ever of what my intention was. You might be able to get a clue from the title of a painting, but I don't really care if other people know what my intention is because sometimes I don't even know until years later. I'm looking at it like, whoa, right. I see what was coming through there.
Did you see another side of you that you never know? We owe every single day we're a new person. The person who was before us is gone. Why? Because we continue to grow and continue to be involved in according to the factors around us on a daily basis. And so for the person who was before us, a couple of years ago, a year ago, a week ago, is a person that is not coming back. And in that moment, in that phase, what was the expression of that person at that moment? And I remember my daughter when she was born, it was the first thing I took her. It was to a Frida Kahlo exhibit. Like she was on like a couple of days old, and like let's go to I am in pain and whatever, but I want to go to see exhibit. And then later on, when I was going to these exhibits, and she's a toddler, and I said, okay, Sophia, you're learning you're learning about emotions. What emotions do you see? And then later I will make her do a painting. And then we have a wonderful collection of paintings that she's done with I forgot the material. There is no crayon, but it's a dry pastel. Yeah. So she was doing all this wild music, and so she reflected all the music that she painted into that. It was crazy for a really young age. And so the reason why I bring in my examples of a small little human being that had no concept of what art is, when I say it's an expression, and you say that you articulate that perfectly when it's, the reflection of society, it's a personal reflection of this other element. but it's also the idea that it's a very vulnerable place
Mm,
because it comes from your soul. I that's what gives me chills about art
yeah.
because it's no a logical, practical, mathematical thing. It is something that comes from an emotion. It comes to something that is trapped inside of us. And then when we do see art, either through movement, dancing, writing, filmmaking, and all the different disciplines that you share, it's about that vulnerable place that is inside of you. And you might let people see that vulnerable spot in some areas, and you
Mm,
might not give them all the clues of what that is, but you're still releasing it. And
mhm.
so that's for me art. It is just a reflection of with a moment of your soul.
Yeah,
And so when you express that in a community format, what does that mean?
right.
It is that you are not just doing the human, feeling those human needs like eating and sleeping and all that. So it's more about we are more than just mechanically numb as a numb person just wandering.
Automatons, right.
We have
Yeah.
something so unique and we have our own light, our own soul, our own ways of how we express it and how we connect to each other. It could be through music, it could be through watching something and then connecting to those emotions. I'm talking too much, my dear.
No,
You
no, no.
need to, you need to, everyone knows if you follow me, if you are not traumatized already, I will talk a lot. So I'm throwing the ball back at you.
Okay.
Tell
I'm
me
gonna
what.
I'm gonna take the little beings with the art. So one of the things when my daughter Vivian was in school, uh, one of her was it Vivian? Boy. Anyways, I have three. Anyway, so I have three children.
One of them.
Yes,
One
it
of
was the youngest one, I think,
Okay.
Vivian. Okay. And I would go into her classroom because they didn't have a lot of art classes. This is one of the things that really makes me angry. That the schools don't understand school system. They don't understand how brains
Mm-hmm.
work. And you know this, that the arts, music, everything, mathematics, reading, all of that is how you create the most whole, fully functioning, um, uh, creative problem solving brains. Anyway, so I would go in and volunteer, and one thing that I did was I had a song list of I think 8 different songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a piece of paper folded, so they're folded twice. So they're one, two, three, four, flip it over, one, two, three, four, 8 different windows
Mm-hmm.
um, on the piece of paper. And songs from, heavy metal to classical to, pop to punk, and I said, colors, here are the crayons. And they might have been pastels. I can't remember what, but
Mm-hmm.
I said to each kid, whatever you are seeing, thinking, feeling, shapes, colors, images, whatever, just it doesn't matter. There's no right and wrong, just do it. And it was so fascinating. And there were some kids who it was terrifying because uh, you know, I don't know. I was like, just scribble. There's no right or wrong answer. And there were some kids who were very like, you know, stick figures, and it couldn't be expressive. It had to be, as realistic as I
Mm-hmm.
think they were. I can't remember what grade they were in. Maybe they were. It was sixth grade. It was sixth grade, and so, but each expression, um, it's freeing in a way, and putting your mind in a different place to listen to a piece of music and do exactly what you were having your daughter do. I think that's a sort of curriculum. I think, just learning about art, and the techniques and the media and all of that, or mediums, sorry, but also how to let the brain be free and to explore. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then also, while you were talking, I was thinking about individual expression seen on large scale, in the art alley that happens during Mural Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Each one is incredibly different, and each is an expression. Each of the murals is an expression of the individual, and it's amazing to have a gallery outdoors. I'm so glad that it's picking up, nationwide and over the globe of these festivals. I think it's awesome that we have one here in Burien. I think Sam Sneak, who is the one who was the instigator of this idea through the B-Town Beat that a group of us started in 20, oh, I don't know, 2013, 2012. I can't remember. Anyways, I was on the Arts Commission, and I we the art walk in White Center, that the White Center for the Arts and the White Center Arts began, has sort of faded away. I think some of the business owners kept it alive, but I had moved on, and I realized, well, we used to maybe have had an art walk before, but I really felt that we needed one to connect the businesses and artists and people in the street. And so I, invited a bunch of people when, was it Vino Bello? There was a wine shop on 152nd. We all met there, and that's how the B-Town Beat got started.
Wow.
And from there, that's how the Art Alley got started. And that's the Art Alley and Mural Masters, and that's one thing that has lasted and that will continue to grow.
It's crazy.
I
That's
know.
beautiful. This is great. If you haven't visited the alley and all the murals, I mean, you need to come over. There's so many talented artists that just express themselves into and in different emotions and feelings and interpretation of things. And but when you see one after another, it gives you a sense of unity to me, a sense of it's a communication medium. It's a love for community is why? Because why do people do this? I mean, why are you doing this? Why are the artists expressing themselves? Yes, you do have that individual expression, but then I see it as a care, like, hey, I'm right here and I'm joining the community. I am making a statement that this is a beautiful place. It's worth for us to make it aesthetically more beautiful and then connect with each other. The I'm glad to hear that it's going to continue to grow.
Yes. Yeah, we're now a nonprofit corporation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So, Angelina Villalobos,
Mhm.
Sam Sneak, myself, Lance McIntosh, and Craig Johnson are the five
Yeah, the five fantastic.
board members, and we will continue to grow. I think we want to partner, of course, with the museum to do these walking tours.
Please.
Yes.
They wanted to.
Yeah. And so I think this summer has just been so busy. So anyways, that is definitely, we are all very interested and has already been on our list of things that we want to do.
Yeah.
And so we're really looking forward to growing the festival and raising enough funds to bring, international artists to come here while also continuing to celebrate the local artists so that it's something that just explodes off the walls every year, constantly changing. Some walls will remain the same because they're so fantastic, or the artist is somebody who draws people to the city. But yeah, it's a great project, and it's really wonderful to work with this group of people. It's internally in the organization, it's very inspiring.
And that's what I like about this is an inspiration, a spark, a magic in something. I mean, I don't want to live in a place where it's always mechanical, numbing, and just the idea of just surviving for the sake of surviving and just going through life. I do believe that we can spice the meal up a little bit.
Yes.
It's not just the bed, it's not just there's not the chicken, just the chicken. That you can actually add the spices and bring more color to it, and you can have fun with the presentation. And why? Because that actually enhances the quality of life. I mean, you can just have a simple piece of chicken and call it a day. I'm surviving. But I think that's what art is about. It's just spice things up, ignites and inspires and makes sense of feeling joy. I think we should have more permission to feel joy and in how we express our lives every day. And so I just glad that there are a lot of projects out there that are happening, and I'm glad that you're here to just express a little bit of it. We got around 10 minutes, and so So you still got a little time to express. So I hope that you can also bring out more of the other projects that you see happening. I know that one that was very popular last year, and they call us a lot and send a lot of emails, and I didn't even want to bother you because I know you're always too busy, but it's like the UFO festival.
Oh, yes.
And so a lot
I
of the
know.
artists, and it's like, like right now we're just taking a breather, and it's
Yeah.
okay. And so like, hey, just stay tuned for the
Yeah.
next opportunity. But that last year was bananas.
I know. It was
It
so
was
fun.
crazy. It was crazy. It was too, I don't, for a lot of you probably never knew this. So it was on 152nd. It was all the music going and beautiful sunset. And I went to the roof of the museum, and then there was a group of in the parking lot that just was crashing in, and they wanted to join me, and they joined the festival, but adding more music, and it was like,
Right.
and they reminded me a little bit about Pumbaa on the Folk Life Festival, where you have your people playing, but then you also have people
It's
that
organic, like,
organically
yeah,
wants to
yeah,
involve.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
so
yeah.
that was like, okay, I mean, they crashing this. I don't think they have permission to play in the parking lot, but I did not make a fuss out of it. I
Right.
just looked from the roof and take a video of it. And as long as there was no interfering with what was going on the other side. And I
Right.
actually walked, my hearing is not reliable, right? It's just like, but at that time I walk on the one side, like, okay, they are not hearing this. And I walk on this side, they don't hear the other one. So
Right.
it was no conflict of any kind.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the reason why I bring that up is that that's one of those opportunities that I saw magic happening.
Yes.
And everyone just came in having fun. And those community events like Arts and Glow and the
Right.
film festivals and things like that,
Yeah.
it just bring, I think, the best side of us.
Oh,
Not the depressive,
absolutely.
not the stress, not the anger, not the
Yeah.
sad, but the fun, joyful.
Smiles and yeah.
I don't know.
So we've already started planning for next year so that we're ahead of the game and trying to figure a good date because s- uh the schedule of all of the events happening is very packed and full. And the ones that we wanted in September are not available. So not to worry. We are having Burien UFO Festival or BUFO this next year. And we're going to have it on 152nd, and there will be people giving presentations here at the museum
Yay.
and all of the things. We always have arts and people who are crafters, who, UFOs, aliens, that whole thing. Local, restaurants. I know Treat makes an alien cookie or a UFO cookie or
Yeah,
whatever.
cool.
I mean, it's a really great community event. And it's above and beyond just the subject of UFO because the music and costume contests and yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's one thing that my husband John White and I um, have created and moved forward together, and it's a sweet gift to the community.
No, and it's the unity of it. You need business, institutions, community members, and even people from outside town. There's a
Yes.
lot of people from out there that just came to do this, and so
Yeah.
just looking forward to them. And now you got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Anything else that you would like to think about? Either something that you have reflecting as an artist, something as a mom in the community, the arts, upcoming projects.
Um, so over the past 10 years, so this is very individual. I have because of all of the different activities and things going on in my life and all of the different distractions, I haven't made time for my own art. And I have felt it. Almost like I can
Mm-hmm.
the voice is disappearing, not disappearing because I know it's never gone, but it's a more of an emptiness on just on a daily like. And so I have been intentionally trying to force myself to make time to exercise those dendrites, that part of me, so that I continue to evolve as an artist and fulfill what I think is one of my purposes for being here. And because without the arts, I am not whole. Without expressing, without creating, without painting, without, dancing, singing, all of these things, I'm only getting older. I could be gone at any day as any individual, it's like time passes so quickly, and I know that I have more to say. And so there'll be a point where I will have to disappear a little bit more from the community in order to feed myself, because if you don't feed yourself, you don't have anything really anymore to give. And I can feel it. I'm pushing it. And so I believe it's important for anyone, whether they consider themselves an artist or not, to remember to take that time to listen to the inner voice, to as busy as one is, just, whether it's just sitting outside listening, writing something random on a piece of paper, whether you keep it or not, it's something that I'm trying to remember to practice, and that I try to remind my children to practice, and that's the thing that I'm currently really, really working on.
All of us, there's a friend I'm being inspired in just sharing this type of thoughts, but I was sharing that all of us have if you look at the wheel of life, and then there's one of them, it's just 10 different sides of us. And one is specifically, you can have fun and excitement, but then one is about the spiritual health. And regardless, I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about how do you nourish your soul? What is the part that you nourish and having your own space, your own the space that you can connect with yourself. And for some people that might be kind of odd, especially if you're in a more practical mindset. You're like ABC and more logical game plan, and your agenda was happening. And so how would that be? How can you translate that to an everyday? And then what does that mean? What does that mean to connect within yourself? And for me, it's all the way from just seeing a beautiful sunset and having a nice hot drink, and then just listen to the moment and feel yourself just breathing and alive. But then there's another, you can just stay still and listen to yourself. But then what about when you're producing something that reflects your soul? When you touch yourself and in those levels, when I'm in a little crisis when I'm painting. I need a way to not only, I need to express it, not only vocalize, but it's like I need to heal, process, and then it's just letting go of whatever things are going on inside me. And so it doesn't have to be the painting sad or angry, but I'm just saying it's a way that I can just channel those energies. I hope that this is an invitation and inspiration for all of you to investigate what is it to have that spiritual health, that connection within yourself, and to know that there's 10 sides of us. And yes, it's one for family, another one for work, another one for whatever. But there's one little pocket. And what if without, when you do have that space, create something special? In this case, she's doing it. And so thank you. Yes, take as much time organically, follow your rhythm, your water, just let the water flow as it comes to you. And just very, very thankful that you had the opportunity to do this with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. And I very much appreciate you and everything that you do through the museum and out into the community. It's so much work, and I know how busy you are all the time because you're doing it. And it's very deeply appreciated.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, there's all of us here, and we're in a community format. So, everyone, thank you. I hope that you saw a little glimpse of how awesome she is, and that if you have more questions, there's a film festival happening, and so this happening hopefully this will show
Burien Film Office Happy Hour.
Tomorrow, Thursday
from 7 to 9 at the Tin Room Theater.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So now you know. There's a no excuses. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thanks. Bye.
Our Highline Voices, 106.5 KQWZ LP FM.
We envision ourselves sitting at a round table where no one is the leader and stories are heard respectfully regardless of gender, age, sexual orientation, disabilities, or ethnicity. Our mission is we collect, preserve, and tell the stories of the Highline region and its people. We want to extend our mission outside the walls of the museum. Our Highline Voices represents us all, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and uniting to cultivate our future. This project allows us to reach out to demographics who might be unable to visit the museum. People with disabilities, low-income families, people who don't trust museums, and more. In partnership, we are launching a locally programmed new radio station at the museum, featuring recorded and live Highline's heritage, history, culture, arts, and more. Are you interested in sharing your story? Email director@highlinemuseum.org.